Kia ora team. I am going to show you a little way around Figma so that you can create your first wireframes. So I've logged in and I've got to this page here and I'm going to click on New Design File. And the first thing that I'm actually going to do, so down here at the bottom we've got a taskbar. I'm going to choose this one that looks like a crisscross and choose frame, and that changes the menu that is on the right side, and you can see like phone, tablet, desktop, watch, etc. We are going to choose something like a MacBook Pro 14, and what we've now been given is a frame that is about the size, well, that is the size of a screen for a MacBook 14-inch. And when we make our design, we can then press this little play button and it'll show it what it looks like on a MacBook laptop screen, which is really cool. So let's get making. Now we are going to make fairly simple designs. So I've gone over to the left here. At the moment it's called page 1, and if I double click on it I can rename it. So I'm going to call it home page V1 for version 1, because what we want to do is create a few different versions that we can get some feedback about the layout, and then from there we can go for some colour. So the ones we're going to make initially are going to be black and white. So I'm going to use these tools down the bottom, and in particular it's this third one, it's the shapes. And a lot of the time I just want to use rectangles. So let's create ourselves a header area. So I'm just going to create, say like that. Move my screen. Oops. Oh, sorry, my the record is in the way. Oh yeah, it's working. Yeah, right, here we go. Yeah, I might make that just smaller. Okay, here we go. Again, I'll do another rectangle, make a footer. I'll make that quite little. Maybe I want to make it even smaller. Maybe not that small. Oh yeah, that's okay. Perhaps the next one I might want to make a navigation bar. And so I might want to do something like this, and then I'm on the right hand side, so looking down to see where I can see the word fill, and here it is. Looks quite subtle at the moment because it's in a shade of grey. We're going to use another shade of grey. Go for a darker shade. Cool, and I want to shift that up so it doesn't have that funny little white line, so that looks better. Then I might want to, perhaps I could use a line and indicate, I'll use a line to indicate a heading. Maybe I want that a bit thicker. So let's see if we can get, here we go, start point, end point, weight. That's what we want. We want it a bit heavier. Let's go for, we'll see what 5 looks like. That's better. Oops, I'll click on it again. Maybe I'll go 8. Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. I could use that. Right, so let's use that line again. And up here, now I'm just going to keep this kind of lined up. I'm going to pretend these are little navigation bars. And if I like the length of that and I want to keep it regular, I'm just going to Control C and Control V and then move it. I think what might be, and you can see all these red lines, so there's these guides here which is really helpful. Let's make that a bit bigger so you can see things. Do that again, so copied, and now I'm just using my arrows to move it, and we are going to see some numbers come up soon as it goes. Ooh, you are the same. Oh, I lie, they're not going to come up. That's fine. Might need to have might need to be little boxes to do that. Anyway, I'm just going to go one more. I'm going to pretend this website is going to have 4 pages. So a home page and 3 other pages. Let's change the weight of that line. So rather than a 2, let's make that a 5. So I'm going to do that with them all. So I could have done that at the beginning and then just did them the copy and paste with me at the correct. Okay, that looks all right. What next? It's likely that I might want to put an image in. So I'm going to use a rectangle and then lines where I will draw diagonals. Perhaps it is a nice big sort of landscapey type image. So I can do that. I'll leave it with that colour. I'll grab these lines out, and so I'm going to go corner to corner. So this is the classic indicator of an image. There's a box with lines. We could actually see if we change that to white. Does it come with an outline? No, we'll have to put lines in. Ooh, yep, grand. It is snapping. Yeah, it's great. And one more. Alrighty, so that gives us an indication of where the image is going, and then perhaps we're going to have some text underneath, and again we can use lines to represent. I'm using the guide to, so it's saying, right, you've reached the edge there, that lines up, and I'm going to paste and use my arrow keys to go. Move that, kind of eyeballing it. And then in the footer area, I might have a copyright and perhaps made by me. And actually the line might go right across, but we might go here for that, and perhaps there's another line that goes here and back. Oops. I can pick up the end there and just straighten it up. Great. Okay, and let's change the weight of that. I used last time 5. Seems a good weight. Kind of indicates something a bit thicker than just normal paragraph text. So here is an initial wireframe. Oh, up here, this is the header. That might be quite a big heading. Might use a box for that, just because we can. And yeah, we could put it here. Oops, I've missed. Oh, the reason that I've missed is it will be the same grey there. Right, let's go and change that colour. Perhaps we'll go lighter. There we go. It stands out. Fantastic. Alrighty, so that can be my first wireframe. Now we are looking at wireframes where we're working in block, which means things go underneath each other rather than beside each other. You know, there is a beside, but we'll figure that out. So the things that you have got the ability to play with are like where you put your big heading. Do you want to put it left justified, centre justified, or right? Whereabouts do you want to put your navigation links? Again, left, centre, right. Your heading, your image. Do you want to put it over to the left? Because maybe your image is going to be a lot smaller widthwise. So you've still got a lot of ability to play around, and let's have a look at what it's going to look like on a laptop screen. So I'm going to click that present button and wait patiently, and here we go. Soon. Da, da, da. And sometimes it takes a little bit just to while it's thinking. Now, I did get the unhappy smiling face, and I feel like that might be to do with my Wi-Fi. But look, this is what this wireframe looks like on a MacBook 14-inch. So it looks pretty cool. So imagine once we put some colour on that, and perhaps we put the headings that we're intending to use, and perhaps an image. it's going to give us a really good indication of what our website build will look like. So that's awesome. To get out of there, I press escape. Oh, and I'm not going anywhere right at this moment. Oh, yeah, I've got the collapse line. I'll do that. Oh, and now let me escape. Oh, it's not going to let me escape. At the very top here, actually it opened another tab, so I'll go back a tab. Now, I need to make sure I've got that saved. Control E, so it will auto-save. Now, at the moment, I'm looking at the left side. It says Files and Assets. Now, assets we're not particularly interested in, but file is really useful. Beside this word pages, there's a plus. That means we can add more pages. So let's do a home page v2. Oops. And if I go back to home page 1, oh no, firstly, let's get the prototype. Let's select the device. So stick with the same device. Alright, so that's there, so that should, oh, hang on. Right, there's this way. Sorry, I've gone to the very bottom. It's that crisscross again. Mac 14. Right, gives us our frame. Now go back to your version 1, and rather than doing all of this, let's copy and paste version 2. Right, and now let's move things around. So let's move that into the middle. Now you note that we're getting these red guidelines are coming up. So that's suggesting that vertical line that we are in the very center of the screen. So that's a good start. I might, what does this look like? Oh yeah, no, that looks a bit weird. So I might decide I want to move my nav over. Now, if I can kind of try and keep it on the same line. Right, there's that centre again, so I want to move it just a little bit to the side. Now I'm going to move that one. Right, get it to the centre and move it a little bit back. So I've kind of eyeballed it. If you have little boxes, you'll actually come up with numbers in between. And so once you've got the same numbers, you know that it's even. Oh, I think I've got things. I've managed to unlevel things. Okay, maybe I want my heading here. Perhaps I want to make my picture smaller. And what I might do this time is, I'm just getting rid of these side ones. What I might do is, if I make this colour here, go back to design, if I go make that colour there rather than it being, need a shape, what I'm going to do is rectangle, yes, I'm going to fill this. Oh, I have a wee gap. Right, I'm going to choose a different shade of grey. A little bit lighter. Okay, that will do me. And what am I thinking I'm going to do? This one. Oh, yeah. Moving things about. Here we go. Now I just need to make that fractionally, yeah, there, right, gets rid of the gap. Okay, now what I can do is, where I want my image, I'm going to make it nice and crisp and white. Oh, but if I move that down and under a few of these lines, I'm going to bring things back. So that was my rectangle. Sometimes you might like to, yeah, I'll use these. Sometimes you might want to relabel these lines. You can also lock them, and that's quite handy. So if there's something that's like, I don't want you to shift, lock it. I won't at the moment because I'm playing around. I am going to put in a rectangle, and because I've centered everything, I'm going to pretend I'm going to have my image centered as well. Right, so it looks like that. Grab my colour, I'm going to make that white, white, white. So it'll be FF, FFF. Right, so that's crisp and white. Then I could, now this rectangle, if I bring rectangle 8, because that's my live one, underneath those diagonal lines there, then I can play with my diagonal lines and just, rather than redraw them, just move them. And so that we're using the correct indicator of an image on our layout. Okay, so I've got that. Better pop a heading in. Maybe I'll use a box. Oh yeah, might use a wee box for that. So, oh, centered. So perhaps we're going to try and center that heading as well. It's going to be littler. So you can see the idea of size being indicated by the shape. Oops, that doesn't show it, does it? Can't see that either. Right, it's better. Oh, nice. Let's be a bit darker so you can see it. I mean, ideally you want to create the shades of grey in relation to the shades of darkness and lightness of the colours that you might use. So there's our version 2. So we could go out to a stakeholder and get some feedback and say, right, tell us what you like about the layout of this and what do you not like about it. Anything that you think I could do to improvement. Same with this. And then you might go, all right, I am going to add some colour. So I've just added a new page. We'll go home page colour V1, and say we've gone with sort of something along these lines. I could, right, better do the frame first. So crisscross down the very bottom, grab my MacBook 14, then go back to my first one, and we will select all and copy. Let's heave that onto here. Now I've got my layout, so I'm not having to redo that, but what I can do now is play around with the colours that I want. Now I had some colours that I liked in here, so, oh gosh, that's quite little. I'm going to read that one. 5AB9E4. Right, I want that for this middle bit. Ooh. Let's just have a look what I've done. Oh yeah, these two, I could have them as the same colour, but this is what I want to change. What did I say? Check. 5AB9EA. B9. Okay. B4. Probably still got that wrong. Oh yeah. Oh, put it in the wrong place. And I am looking at the right side here, and it's made the opacity at 26.67, so a little bit under a third. So that's quite interesting, because we could change that. If we took it to 100, you'd see it's quite a solid colour. Now that's the colour around the side, and so I don't actually want that there, but quite like the shades. So I'll just copy that. Let's make that back to crisp white. Oh, and that needs to be if, 6 Fs. And so I must need to put a white, oops, well, box here, move it under, so bring everything back to the top. Now, one asks, what is it? So let's give it a name. It's going to be my content area, so let's call it that. That means I can find it easily. And I'm just playing around with these layers and getting it underneath so that I can then change colour, and the bits and pieces that I want will be on it. What did we say that number was again? Oh yes, I did save it. Boom. Great. Okay, that's good. And so you can see I could play around with the opacity. So let's see what 50% looks like. Ooh, that's a bit insipid for me. Maybe 80, maybe 90. Yeah, that's better. Cool. And I can see I have that heading line is underneath it as well. That must, or could be that line. Let's see. So I'm busy moving things around so that. Oh yeah, there we go. That's just arrived up to the top. Cool. Perhaps for these lines, I want that. I had a darker shade that I quite liked. Ooh. Is it that? Well, let's try. We'll go for that. Yes, it is that. 5680 E9. So we'll go 5680 E9. Oh, that's because it's a 3 rather than an E. There we go. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to just copy that number and I'll choose my footer area and I'll change the colour there. I will choose that area there. So it's where I'm going to put my navigation links. And actually these are going to be wee buttons, so I might change them from lines into wee buttons. Oh, I've got 2 of those, get rid of one of those. So let's delete, and delete, and grab myself a little box rectangle. And yeah, white will be absolutely fine. And I just want little, yeah, that probably gives a good indicator, and I've just copied and pasted and I'm just moving now. We're going to get these numbers soon. So I've copied again. Oh, I haven't pasted it. Oops. There we go. Selected, copy, paste. Right. Now we'll move. Oh, did I do the, I hope I did choose the MacBook 13, MacBook 14 inch so that we can make it right. Okay, see how you've got these little dotted lines? They're all saying this is all centered, so this is great. We can sort of move things around. Oh, there we go, 22, 22. Let's see if I can get a 22 here. Oh, 21, 22. Fantastic. So now I know these are evenly spaced. So that's fantastic. What if I wanted to bring my image in? Let's have a go at that. Where my shape is, I can grab image. Now I need to know where I've stashed my images, and I've been very sensible and I've put them in my pictures folder and I've named them. So if I go down there, that's the one I've been playing around with. So I've just right clicked it, and what I'm going to do is copy, and it can disappear, and then paste. Oh, now it's chosen this big. See how it's highlighted this? It's going big. It's going to be a bit of a pain. Oh, got a bit of space there. Change that. Takes a while for an image to come in. It'll be because I haven't used a box here. But it's really clever how it does this. Do you know what? I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to move the box in. Make myself a box. Rectangle. You can go there. Now, if I choose that, again, let's go back here, image. Okay, my crisscrosses are underneath, as far as the layers go, they're underneath. Going back to find my image, open. Okay, so there it is. Now, can I play around with it? I will be able to play around with the size Now, that's kind of cool. I can make it rounded edges. That'll look quite nice. You can see my sticks. I'll get rid of those. Oops, got rid of my picture. Control Z. There's the stick. Gone. Yeah, I'd probably replace this with little boxes as well. So we might do that. Ooh. Now that I can see it, I'm just going to whip. Oh gosh. Okay, I am right, move that way. The thing that's good about this is I can see I'm lined up. Oh, now what I do notice here is my very first nav link box is not lined up. So it's important that I do line that up. That will have changed those little bits. Oh, 25s. Okay, let's change that to 25 as well. There we go. Okay, that needs to be bigger, and potentially, yeah, might be one. Well, it might just have a bit of a gap and just be over here, so that could be quite easy to do. Now, I could put some words in here, so text. Now, I need to be looking again down the left side to see where my text is. Can't see anything yet, so let's put in a box, and that is going to bring up the menu typography. There it goes. So I'll spin that up to the top. At the moment, the font type is Inter. Let's see what Inter looks like. My blog. Lily. I'll select that. That's way too small, so I want to make it bigger to start with. It's better. And yeah, text is still selected, so I could play around with different text fonts. Sorry, use your words, and yeah, I can shift this. And I could do all sorts of things. So in actual fact, the box may not be a coloured box that is different from this darker blue. It might be dark blue here, but it's just an indicator for me as I'm designing where I'm going to put my text, and then I might go, all right, I'm going to change that text box, that as well. Alrighty, so that gives you a bit of an insight. We'll see if this displays as to what it's going to look like. But this gives you a really good insight as to your first go on Figma. Woohoo! Cool. I think I need to make that text a bit bigger for my big heading. But yeah, I like the colours that I've chosen. I need to ask someone else whether they like my colours. And I could probably use another colour from sort of the other side of the colour wheel as a bit of an accent colour to provide a bit of interest, and something perhaps orangey. And yeah, so have fun with this, and yeah, enjoy being creative, and experiment, experiment, experiment.